An interesting distinction that Thomas Aquinas makes in the Summa about lying is whether it's intentional or not. And when it's intentional, it's an actual lie. And when it's not, it's considered a falsehood. Sometimes we or other people have false information in our mind and in our heart, and we seek to convey that information without the intent to deceive somebody, but rather with an intent to tell the truth. And this always requires humility to actually change our position and, in one sense, convert to the truth when it is found. This is the process of conversion to Christianity as well. First, it's this intellectual conversion to the truth of the one God. And the final covenant established in Christ, it is coming to terms with erroneous thinking about God and how to follow him. And this distinction is important because not everyone is trying to lie to us. They just have falsehoods in their heart. Here we hear St. John mention, who is the liar? Whoever denies that Jesus is the Christ. And this is not without prophetic proof from Old Testament prophecies that are fulfilled in Christ, besides the eyewitnesses who walked with him, such as St. John, where we receive this letter. And one of the many passages that we come to is in Isaiah, where it says, therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a young woman. Or when the Old Testament is translated into the Greek in around 300 BC, it's translated as virgin. Perhaps a clarification before the actual event in history. But then it goes on to say she will conceive and bear a son, and she shall call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. And this is the Christian experience. And if we recall, on the road to Emmaus, Jesus opens the scriptures, and at that time there was only the Old Testament. Jesus had just risen from the dead. And he explains in the sacred passages where he is found. And it is even possible that he points to this particular passage when he spoke to them on the road. And what is the importance or the takeaway from today? It's the fact that some people are not lying when they tell you about this or that, but they're just speaking a falsehood they were taught, and that is all they have in their intellect or mind. They truly don't know better. This is the importance of being gentle and conversing with other faiths or people in general. And sometimes it's us who have false ideas in our minds which need to be corrected. But the one thing that is not false in our heart and mind and is not a lie is that Jesus is the Christ, the Messiah.